back to Matt Chat Podcast with yours truly, Uncle P, Paulie P, Buff Daddy, Big Sexy, Cuzzy Frank, Frank Grizzly, Camouflage Frank, the Handsome Man, Blue Eyes, the Red Man, Hellboy, Baby Shay, Peter Olberg. We're back. Do it. Matt Chat Podcast. That's how we do it, son.
Well, and let us not forget, producer extraordinaire.
I said it.
He did
You
say
did?
that. No, yeah, he did say that.
That's what I get for not paying.
Unless one of my nicknames is Peter Olberg.
I was too into my own.
Man, like you got into the moment. I know you're in the zone. You get in the zone.
I get it. I get in the zone.
You get in the zone. And speaking of zones, I was in a fantastic zone. Now, I don't watch any of these actor shows, whatever they call them. That's what I'm calling them, actor shows. Where they pontificate about themselves and their greatness to play fake people. You know, they're basically professional make-believers, which I like, because I like
They're good at it, though, yeah.
I'm all about that, but I don't watch their shows because I just, they're outside of that. I don't really care.
And by shows, you mean like their war?
Yeah, whatever they're called, the actor shows.
Yeah. I want to just see them act. I don't want to see them get things for acting. I care less.
So, because I just don't agree with their stances on humanity. But that being said, did you guys see, because I only saw it on social media, because like I said, I don't watch that stuff, this wonderful gentleman by the name of Ricky Gervais. Am I saying the name correctly? I don't want to mess his name up, because I want to give him all the due
he deserves
respect
serious props.
that he lit up Hollywood. Lovely.
Oh, it's great.
Lovely. That, like, it was so long overdue.
Now, and he was
that
saying...
You're tickling.
I wish you watch it. And you should at least watch the highlights, because when
I did. I watched the highlights on social
shitting
media.
on Apple, and Tim Cook is sitting there like,
right.
Oh yeah, we do use child labor, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and people do commit suicide at the shops that we work at, don't we? That's why we put the net. That's why we put the net.
And Tom Hanks' face too.
Yeah, like
he's a big liberal too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is.
Is he?
Yeah. I think. I
well, he was actually more pissed when he made fun of the woman who got arrested for the whole college scandal, and she said about the.
Listen, the only one we know in Hollywood that's not a liberal is Clint Eastwood. So I mean, that's the only one I know there's others, but I know for a fact.
How do you guys feel about that whole? Me personally, you did some shady shit to get your kids a better education. Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
I got no problem with that. I mean, I don't. Like,
if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
If I'm saying, but like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna make my kid qualify for a school and go play sports where the coach goes, hey, look, if you're not cheating, you're not trying? Like, I mean...
No, but going back to a previous podcast, you said about the elites in these big cities, saying they're all for this stuff, but yet when it comes to their kids, they will pay people off, they will lie about being on sports teams.
Lie, steal, and cheat.
Yeah. So I do have a problem with that, personally.
So let me take a step back. I got no problem with somebody doing what they got to do for their kids. But you can't, again, like I've said in previous podcasts, you can't support one while denouncing it.
Correct.
You can't sit there and be like, I'm an honest man, I'm an honest man, I'm an honest man, but when it comes to my kids, I'll lie, cheat, and fucking steal.
Yeah,
but the reality is, I'd rather you just be like, look, when it comes to I'll say it, I'm a hypocritical person. There's definitely things that I say that challenge what I previously said, because obviously my mind changes.
Or what you even do.
But,
absolutely.
But I try to stick in a straight line, but I'm honest about it. Like, people who try to pontificate that they're something that they're not, I mean, it's just... But anyway,
I like it. I'm not going to say anything. Again, why would I interject on that very nice point?
But there's even plenty of times where I reach out to him, I'm just kind of like, here's what I'm going through right now. Like, am I just being a fucking pussy? Like, do I just need to shut up and go through it? And there's times where he's like...
I'm going to guess yes.
Yeah. And there's times where he's like, no, you're not off here. No. You're riffing. So
let the bad air out. Let the bad air out.
Letting it out on Facebook, I can't stand that.
Yeah, but dude, if you're getting rid of all your bad problems and life issues on social media for everybody to see, you have bigger issues.
Like, and we'll get right back to the Ricky Gervais, because we need to give him a lot of props.
Yeah, he needs it. He deserves
his props.
Finally.
He deserves a golden glove.
Yeah. But to your point,
he deserves it.
Is like, for me, I have no problem calling people out for shit, for anything. There was a time when I was younger, as of maybe a few years ago, where I would blast
couple hours ago.
I'd blast you on social media for all to read, and I actually did it about 3 weeks ago. It's because I have such distaste for that person. But it took me a lot.
All I can stand, I can't stand no more.
And I don't do it anymore. Like, I did it this morning. There's 2 people I did it privately. Had to send some messages out. Don't think I'm not aware of your bullshit. Where normally I would have let everyone read it, but these particular individuals, like, I'm aware of your bullshit.
Did they respond to you? I'm
Of course
just curious.
Of course they did. But
Did they say you were wrong?
There's a lot of that.
They
though.
respond like the cowards. they
There's
are.
a lot of
But
that,
the reality of it is denials and responses of cowardice. And one of the situations, I even told my brother I was going to do it. I was waiting for the opportunity, and it happened this morning, so I was kind of excited about it. But that aside, you know,
And he showed up for the shooting.
yeah,
Look at
and
him.
the thing is-
and I'm still here.
And trust me, the thing is that I would much rather see them face to face, because then I could really do what I like to do. But so then you have this avenue where, so you know, dude, this is not me trying to make
Hiding,
a scene for
yeah.
everybody. This is you and me. It's a direct message, and this is me telling you what the fuck I think about you. So guess
Oh,
what?
boy!
Yeah. So what's the point being, and you should be happy that you didn't run into me, because it can get escalated. Because I like escalation. But outside of that,
I like escalators.
at the outside of that,
I like the clarity.
let's get back to
Yeah.
the man, the myth, the legend, Ricky Gervais.
Golf clap for Ricky Gervais?
I'm actually disappointed that this is his last one.
Yeah, because they won't bring him back.
They're not bringing him back.
Oh, listen,
Well, he's done it 5 times. I think that's what it was like. He was like, I don't give a shit. He's like, I've seen this for 4 fucking years.
Listen,
Like,
he-
And I gotta be honest, I don't even know what his political ideology is.
who cares?
But here was the
He
best
could be
part.
the king
It
of-
doesn't matter what side
Yeah.
you are on. If you are an actor, an actress, a movie star, a singer,
Entertainer.
an entertainer, we don't give a shit about what you
But here's
think.
what I love
We
about him.
only care about what your
Entertainment.
Yeah,
He's
that's
he's
it.
He's I believe he's an atheist, and most social issues, he's a left side.
Right.
But I mean, he's a British guy. He's got kind of like that
Yeah.
that culture's mentality. But for somebody like him to point out, and it's what we were talking about before. You have people sitting there saying, "Oh, XYZ about feminism and racism and etc." But then they're supporting it over here. Like he's just
But not that-
tired of the fucking bullshit that you guys are pretending to be. Like you're actors on screen.
Yeah.
Don't be actors in real life.
But not only that, I think he's tired of saying, listen, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares what you think.
Well, if you hear what he
We
said,
just care what you do. That's it. Yeah.
if he said, some of you, none of you.
Are they that narcissistic that they
Yes,
think-
that's why he said you're holding an iPhone while you're accepting your award, talking about God. Meanwhile, you're also talking about this cause that you fight for, where kids who get used as child labor, it needs
Yeah.
to stop.
Sweatshop.
And you'll give this big 20-minute speech, and they'll start playing the music. Meanwhile, you're purchasing products that were made by little tiny hands.
I think the greater message and the greater statement he made was, none of you, and again, if I mess it up a little bit, misquote, he said, no one in this room understands the real world. You know
No.
nothing about the real
No.
world.
They don't
And
live in the
that-
real world.
And that was the statement.
Yeah.
And he's 100,000% right. And I want to go on record saying he could be the king of the liberals, and I applaud him, because I don't mind him being to the left, but at least he said what was true and right. Okay, and at the end of the day, and here's even the greater hypocrisy to it. He basically starts the show, tells them, you know, here's how it is. Please come up, get your award, thank your agent, thank your God, and be
Get
quiet,
off.
right? And 2 other idiots. What was it, Arquette and some other else?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was 2 other actresses that went up there and did exactly what he asked them not to do. You know, another climate control moron and some other shit that someone else said. But the point being is, you know, man, it was so refreshing.
It really was.
It was so refreshing. I remember this, when it came up on social media, I'm like, man, God bless this guy.
Yep.
Really, God bless him, regardless of what he believes in or what he thinks. Someone finally said what's right.
What everybody else was thinking too. But they're just afraid to respond to.
Listen, and
It doesn't matter what side you're on.
And that's the point.
Look at the camera.
That's the
sometimes.
point. How many fucking times?
I got this camera
Don't talk.
pointing right
Quiet.
at me.
He told you to look at this camera.
Yeah, but I gotta
Don't fucking explain it anymore. Look at that camera.
You were staring at Paul.
I was
God
staring at that
almighty,
camera
man.
right there.
No,
right
because you know
over
what
there.
is? He's looking at himself with this red sweatshirt. He thinks he's looking at himself. That's the problem.
Rudolph-itis.
Good Lord. Unbelievable.
I'm very comfortable.
So,
If I look like Puerto Rico, it's because he can't stop shaking. That's an earthquake joke. Sorry.
it's a physiological, natural tremor that's going on
Oh
now.
my
man.
God. Yeah, it doesn't stop. It's just gonna.
So you think it's going to adversely affect his career?
No, I think.
That's a good question.
So here's the thing. I think the reason why he was able to say that is that over the past however many years, he's created such a career that he's just kind of like, fuck with me.
Right.
Go ahead. Oh, you're not going to call me back to the Globes? I've done it 5 times. I don't care.
Right.
Somebody else is going to pick me up, and because he had the balls to say what he had to say, I bet you he gets picked up by somebody else, and he'll make jokes about what he did. When he's just too big to fail.
Do you think?
But he didn't attack any one side. He merely attacked just the stupidity.
But this is what we've been talking about. Like I said earlier.
So if you don't attack a side, I think you still get hired. You still get all the stuff.
He's attacking the extremists because extremists are fucking stupid. Anybody who's too into one thing, left or right or in the middle.
But I think it was more than that. I think he was attacking the idea that we don't give a shit what you think.
No,
That's it. We don't care.
He said that. He said
we don't care what
he
you
said that, but he also said, "Come up here, get your award, thank who's necessary, and move on."
Right.
Don't use. He said, "Don't use this as a platform."
Right.
But the reason why he goes into that is because we don't give a shit about what you said. Don't come up here and use it as a platform. Because we don't give a shit about what you said because it's hypocritical.
Right.
We don't care for you to use this platform because it's hypocritical. Here's how it's hypocritical.
Right.
You're preaching that we should be doing X, Y, Z while you're buying and promoting the business that causes the thing that you're fighting against. Right. It's just like when I was in college, I had to write an article about Michael Jackson, and I had to write an article being the guy, the press release fighting against Michael Jackson touching little kids. And in my article I wrote, why, like if I was Michael Jackson, why would I molest little kids? Look at how many different organizations and things that I do with little kids to benefit little kids, so on and so forth. You know who else used to fucking do a bunch of stuff for little kids? The guy who worked at Penn State.
Jerry Sandusky.
Yeah.
But it's genius because you're clouding yourself around what you're actually doing. It's genius, right? Like if I'm the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
I'm just a sheep.
100% right.
I'm just a sheep. These are all sheep around me. I would never hurt the sheep. That's why I keep the sheep around me. Oh, no.
In plain sight.
But I think why he broke was because he's tired of shaking hands and smiling with these people that are full of shit. It's the same thing that we deal with on the social media. They sit there and talk shit behind your back, but then they're following you, supporting you, making it seem like they're one of you because it's this massive fucked up chess game. But that's the reality. People are shitty. People are really shitty. Portuguese people are shitty.
Next time I'm bolting the door. I'm really gonna bolt it because that people should know, but don't fucking come in here when we're in here. Even if you're getting paid.
By you.
Doesn't it lend to the statement I made before about intelligence?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah, so point being, go ahead, I'm sorry.
But no, it kind of goes back to what we've always been talking about. People are selfish and don't give a fuck about how it affects other people.
Or they're dumb. Or they're just fucking dumb. There's also, that's the other part.
Oh, God.
They're just, again,
Round 2.
again. Even when you even give a warning and say don't do it, it happens again. You can't make it up. And smiles because you're dumb.
Yeah, she doesn't get
doesn't
it.
register.
Just doesn't get it.
So, Ricky Gervais,
Yes.
you did a great job.
Do you think
man.
that he'll get away with it?
Yeah.
Because he is liberal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
of
because
course.
and because he can get in the face of those people
Because
behind closed doors and be like, really? Just because you're an idiot,
You think-
and you think it's okay?
I don't know.
And you think what
believe
you
the
have to
same-
say is that important?
Well,
It's
I think
not.
more
Just
importantly
do
than
your
that,
acting.
if you could stop interrupting me while I'm trying to make a point because you want to interject with nonsense, okay?
Never.
What I'm
Never.
saying is that do you not think that he could say that's what you get? That's what you get. Okay?
He can absolutely say that
That's what you get.
because he's on that side.
That's my point.
He's got nothing to lose.
Saying is that he can basically say to him, I agree with you. We're on the same page. But the difference between you and I is I don't feel the need to pontificate it in a form like this because we're actors.
Right.
We're not politicians. We don't dictate policy. We're not going to dictate the world. As a matter of fact, the American people are on the opposite side of the fence as you. 95% of the time.
I disagree with you part of that. In regards to we were not going to dictate what happens in the world. I truthfully believe.
I get the trending shit, but people aren't
Not that.
People aren't going to go vote because
Not that.
De Niro the snowflake and Bruce Springsteen the domestic terrorist says, "Oh, fuck the police and and the president's no good."
You already know
mean,
that I think,
Yeah.
in regards to voting, I think the only vote that we have that actually makes a difference is the dollar. And I think that's kind of the point that Ricky was talking about, right? You're sitting here, and it sounds great while you're accepting your reward, and it sounds great on the post, and it sounds all this virtual signature, virtue signaling that you're doing is all great. But when it comes down to where you're putting your money into a business that's literally doing the thing that you're fighting against, right? So you have, let's talk about farming. People who sit there and go, oh, agriculture's so shitty, we shouldn't have all these massive farms and etc. and they'll preach, or even better, vegans preach, but then you're wearing leather, you're using products you're eating vegetables where animals get killed, because if you know anything about farming, they die when you're growing vegetables. You can't speak one way and then action another and act like no one's going to notice it. More so, you can't sit there and pretend that like you're better than other people, which what they're doing up there, right? This is my organization, follow and do what I'm telling you to do. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, you're doing
whatever you want.
That postures what you're against. Like, it's almost, honestly, it's an evil business scheme. Like, if I have a business that helps fucked up kids, but I also invest in a business that fucks up the kids, it's cyclical for me. It's cyclical for me. And I think that's why it's really about where you're spending your dollar. That's what he's getting to. What do you believe in? What are you really doing to fight against? Are you just talking, or are you really putting your money where your mouth?
But what are you fighting against? Shay,
say something.
I'm agreeing with everybody.
You're fighting against old age.
And I'm doing it well, though, I got to tell you.
I didn't say you did it.
Doing it real freaking well. Look what's going on here.
We got a serious topic going on.
I didn't bring up the joke, they did. I just have to follow suit with it because that's what I'm good at. Almost like Ricky Gervais.
How do you feel about it?
No, Gervais actually set the tone.
Yeah.
And I just said a tone too with good looks.
You just concur with what was being said here.
And
so
I
why
set
don't
a
you set the
tone with good
We don't care
looks.
about your hair products, your skin products, or your looks. We care about your opinion on him setting the tone. So if you don't mind,
I already stated my opinion, and I was
he's in-
100% for it.
he's in agreement. He's in agreement. Peter, just forget it. There's nothing you can do. We
tried.
There goes your close-up.
There's nothing. There goes your close up. For me, again, I get just giddy thinking about it, because the self-implosion there, when this man was doing this, is like, you could have filled 3 planets with liberal tears.
Like, yeah, man,
The
facial expressions
was just
were enough to win.
fantastic.
Absolutely.
It was just fantastic, and I got to be honest. I think that he's going to get a lot of positive recourse from doing it. I really do. I think across the entertainment industry. I mean, that's my opinion, because at the end of the day, he said what's true. He said what's right. And coming from a guy who's leaned to the left most of the time, it's pretty fucking powerful. Because if another actor went up there who's deemed on the right did that, forget about it. It would have been a free for all. You know, it would have been like, you guys know it's,
He's racist. He's this. He's that. That's what it would have been.
That side is you
can get away with saying whatever you want on that side.
That side has become, remember, the party of tolerance, but they also are the party of tolerance, but they're allowed to attack with the fervor of a bee's nest. You know what I mean? Like if they feel like you don't agree with what they're doing.
But even that whole Epstein thing, his buddies, it's like all buried now. It's
did you see the new thing that came out?
Yeah, man.
No.
Where
It's crazy.
They erased the film.
They erased the film. Oh yeah, I heard.
the video. Yeah,
Video.
but so they interviewed the other.
Gee, what a surprise!
Something like cellmate or something like
No,
that.
no. So the other guy who did the I forget the name of his profession. The guy who looks at the body and makes sure.
Oh, the coroner?
Yeah, but the world renowned one, the one who did the second one, who's like, listen, normally you see a broken bone or 2. He's like, the jaw's broken in 3.
Forensic medical examiner.
Thank
right?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the guy who wears the glasses, like he's big deal. He's the one who he's like, there's no doubt in my mind that this was a murder. Like the amount of data that shows otherwise.
And no one
And the
talks about it.
COs were in cahoots with it. They got that on. The COs were a part of.
Yeah.
But here's a good point, right? You don't hear about the fact that the whole thing tied to this Epstein thing, which is essentially sex trafficking of human people.
Right.
Right. Not one fucking word about it.
Nope.
You just have people arguing whether or not this guy was killed or did he kill himself. But like, and this is what kills me. And man, people in media, like, I remember in the 80s and you know, what that movie, Deep Throat, like, talking about how journalists should get out there and get the real info. Man, you guys have really let journalism down. Because some of you guys are creating stories and what you're doing just for the likes and to make money. I get it, it's a business, but, like, journalism's about telling truth, man. And
Truth sells too. So
I
I don't
guess-
know why you would want to do that.
well, I guess the question is then you can sit there and say, well, what's your perception of truth, right? Your perception and
Yeah.
my perception could be totally two different things, but still, I just,
I kind of feel it goes back to everything you're talking about, power.
yeah.
Manipulation to have power.
Well, the back
In the end.
Like, why isn't that
Big
talked
picture.
about? That's a way bigger
Well,
fucking
think
thing.
about it in your power synopsis. The people that were associated and attached to him were all powerful people. So all those people had him killed. I mean, think about it. Ex-presidents, CEOs of filmmaking companies, right? Politicians, all attached to this guy. All attached to him. And all of a sudden, well, guess what? Let's get rid of him. Because, you know, we can argue anything that they may find that's on, you know, it's on video or and written down or whatever the case. But we need to kill the guy that can concur all this and get himself out of jail. You know, so confirm and testify against it. So, you know, a well-spoken point, because it's, again, revealing the truth. I guess
But all those people would be complaining about that stuff, like you're saying,
Yeah.
publicly, but
Right.
yet they're buddies of the guy and
they're
clients.
part-
But
they're
you know why I
clients and
think
pals.
they don't, though? Because they get suicided by shooting themselves twice in the back of the head. That's why I think
Right, right. It's the truth. Think about it. Think about it. All these people that are attached to high-powered people end up dead, or they've committed quote-unquote suicide.
You're either going to play fucking ball and we're going to keep the ball rolling,
Right.
right? Or
You're accidentally gonna die.
you're going to commit suicide.
Yeah, we're gonna make it so that you die. I mean, it's a crazy thing, but I think that to somewhat wrap this up, you know, Ricky Gervais is a breath of fresh air. Again, gotta clap that dude up.
And mind you, I'm a hunter and he's a huge anti-hunter, and I still love what he said.
Of course, you know, we have to.
Because he said truth.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm not going to agree with everything you said, but there's going to be things that I'm going to love. And what he's doing and how people are faking it and pretending to be something they're not while upholding some kind of just cause that they're actually fermenting themselves, it's just,
Right. Hypocrisy in the Bizarre World 101, and I am very glad that Ricky Gervais exposed the multitude of the masses that do that so often. With that, we're going to wrap this up. Paul Seattle, Frank Seattle, Christopher Shea, Peter Oberg, Cuzzy Frank, tell them now.
guys, you know what time it is. It's Matt Chat Podcast time. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all other sources of media. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, don't comment, say you love us, say you hate us. Doesn't matter. We love all your feedback. Appreciate what you do for the podcast. Check us out next week. Matt Chat Podcast. We're out.